All right, folks, the final 9 is upon us here for the 2025 PDGA Pro Master Worlds here at BRP, sponsored by ZÜCA. Another PDGA major to add to the list here, and a big shout out to our Patreon supporters as always. I'm Derek, this is Chris. You've been hearing us quite a bit this year, but this commentary is Wade by Marshall Street. Big shout out to them. How you feeling going into the back 9, Chris?
Aside from being tired, I feel great. Gateway Disc Sports, big shout out to them sponsoring this coverage. Make sure to check them out. Get your wizards. As Dutch Napier was starting to pull away and then kind of gave it back there on the 9th.
Yeah, it happened so quickly too.
Yeah, but I don't know. This round just feels so scrambled and there's a lot going on. It's really hard to keep up, especially with Paul Oman making a push for the chase card. Scores all over the place. A little easier here on the back 9. This becomes kind of a birdie race. Starts with hole 10, par 3, 330. There is a lot of danger here with the OB though. Dutch found OB one of the rounds. We saw some OB round 1 as well.
Dutch found OB long.
Yeah.
Almost acing it. Whoa. Now is not the time to be doing that, Joe.
No. And it's interesting because he laid up the previous round. And I don't know if this even had a shot.
No. And yeah, I'm actually very curious as to why he decided to play aggressively. Joe, that is. Brad says, I don't want anything to do with that OB. I'm just going to play it safe, short, and in the middle. That's narrowly getting through.
Wow. I also like you could see the basket from the little hole.
I agree.
Like, that's such a cool little touch.
Yeah, and if you don't get over enough and you kind of play more to the right side, there is kind of a gap further right as well. I don't know how often that comes into play, but I guess for maybe like a righty backhand that doesn't turn over kind of thing.
Ooh, good bounce back there for Brad.
I think I said righty. I meant lefty. I don't know my left and my right. Solid birdie there. Much needed bounce back.
Yeah, taking 2 strokes on the 2 guys on his heels.
Yeah, but needing one more to erase the end of his front 9 there.
Yeah, getting a bogey this late in the round does not sit well. Hard to come back after that one.
All right, here on the 11th, 425, par 3. OB there in the middle. Mando on the left. Trees there pretty much right past the Mando. Then OB behind the pin as well. The netting there dictates pretty much just one kind of shot. A little low and level from Brad, but safe all day.
Parking the short basket.
Dutch really put a move on it in round 4, so let's see if he can follow suit again. A lot of airtime. I don't think quite as good as round 4, but still a very good shot. Joe not really wasting any time and putting a lot into it.
He's throwing hard now.
Yeah, he's pissed off. Yeah, I do believe that might be the longest or the longest drive for this hole all week.
Jeremy Colling got well inside the circle.
Did he?
Yeah. On our coverage, round 1. He got all the way down towards the OB line there on the right. But this is not a birdie
Oh, wow, right off the band.
Not a lot of people are grabbing this birdie. Came in as the fourth hardest
He knew.
hole.
He knew. Before it even hit, he said, "That's dead center. Ain't no way that's spitting out." Walking it in. That's the reset he needed.
Nice job.
Joe finding a birdie from circle's edge. And that is a walk of pissed off, I guess, like you mentioned.
Frustration.
Frustration.
Yeah. Even though, Joe is definitely the type of player that even if the score reflects positive, or I guess negative, theoretically, but if it didn't feel right, he's still pretty upset about it. He has a lot of expectations for himself.
He's got the dog in him, man. Fights hard. As we're going to move into hole 12, 450, par 4. Traditionally, usually the easiest hole here. Just got to miss a lot of trees, but I mean, there's so many different lines to get there. And because it's so short, if you get a full flight, you're within 100 feet usually of the basket.
We've been seeing a lot of the kind of force over forehands from the righties. Wow.
All right.
I don't think anybody was expecting that.
Joe going right side, and if this gets sneaky, that is going to go all the way to the basket as well. Wow. Oh! Scorekeeper's like, wow! That's funny.
If that stays clean,
Oh.
just as I said it. Rolled far enough to the left. I think there should be a pretty clean line there for Brad. So we got a 50-50 split, and that's a very unfortunate kick. Cale's not going to like that. It's going to be pretty jailed off.
Yeah, and his...
Oh, it's actually more open than I thought.
His chances of winning here are very slim now at this point. I mean, with that shot as well, birdie, it's going to be tricky. Yeah, starting to look like the hometown hero. Could fall a little short once again. This Cale has been so close so many times to grabbing one of these master majors.
Oh, eagle. That's very exciting. Love to see it. You see the beads of rain on the basket?
Yes.
It opened up a little bit. Little drizzle early on.
2 eagles, Derek.
You don't see that too often.
No, it was the easiest hole, but those were the 2 eagles on the entire field.
The whole day?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad we were there to witness.
Both. Yeah, and that touch now in the 40s. 6 strokes here on Cale. 2 on Joe.
All right, here on the 13th, par 4, 545. Pond pretty early. So if you stay clean off of any tree hits or anything like that, you should have no problem crossing over. The green's got OB pretty close behind the pin with a slope going left to right downward.
Oh, no.
And you heard a lot of conflicting feelings coming from Dutch. He goes, no, yes, no. But unfortunately, that is...
Whoa.
Is it nerves? Is it humidity?
Nah, dude, it's the bugs. It's
That's-
the bugs.
That's turned over to Brad telling it to turn or fade or do something.
Spin more.
Really uncharacteristic for lead card here.
All right, there we go, Cale.
Early left for our first three. Cale playing it a little short as well, but I guess after seeing what happened 3 times in a row.
From the drop zone. That's a pretty tough shot, too. I mean, that's a good 450 maybe. Finally seen an overhand from Joe, and he throws it so hard he almost finds the OB on the backside. Yeah, a little too much there from Joe.
Not a lot you can do from where Brad was. That's actually covered a lot of ground considering.
Cale just needs to put this under the basket. He has a chance to gain some strokes on the leaders. Yeah, he needs some birdies. It's been a little. Yeah, tough one there for Dutch. Another blemish late in the round.
Oh. Joe really getting agitated here.
Yeah, that would have been an insane birdie, by the way. Like, hit early left, throw a overhand all the way, 40 past the basket, and then almost makes the putt.
Yeah, and when Joe gets a couple bad breaks or, isn't happy with how he's playing, he turns to play fast and aggressive.
This Cale's going to be our only birdie on the 13th. Shout out Steve Rico. Got an eagle. So.
Again.
Yeah, he's got 2.
You know what? I like seeing that. Still having a good time.
We're going to jump into 14. 342 par 3. Still danger on the course here. We have that same pond Dutch just found. Not enough turn.
Hold.
It's like the second or third time we've seen that. I don't know if he was going for that spot. I would think he wanted a little more turn. And then Joe's looks like
That looks
going
really
right
good.
at the basket. Fades out a little early.
Pretty safe though from there. Pin high, so it's not as much of a death putt as some other spots.
Oh yeah, that is a way to bounce back, baby. Good shot there from Brad.
Playing it really close to that right side, too.
Just getting over those rocks. Tap in birdie for him. This is big from our leader.
That doesn't have enough turn on it either.
Yeah.
There must be a wind out there we don't know. It looks
doesn't
pretty
seem.
still.
I
It's
just think it's the way they're
interesting.
playing. I think the nerves. It's major day.
That was cool. Little trick shot from Cale.
This would be a big birdie for Joe. Oh, no. Man, these guys are all over the basket. This was the 5th hardest hole. About 20% of the field grabbing birdies here. 60% getting the par. So not far off the numbers we have here with 25-75 split. And it's a birdie race now, folks. Everyone you need to grab.
Absolutely. Here on the 15th, 270, par 3, very tight. Can lead to some danger if you don't commit. Slight bend to the left, slightly elevated pin as well. Basically playing something a little shorter with a good bit of fade on it for the righties.
Brad's not even going to have to putt.
Yeah, playing the ground a little as well, getting them right up to the bullseye.
Brad's starting to pick it up here, which is nice to see. Pushing for a podium.
Really smooth here from Cale. Playing it closer to that left side. And he's well within the circle as well.
Yeah, it's not a hard shot. I mean, it's just a hyzer shot for the righty, but it definitely, like you said, there's a lot of danger on this hole.
It's
like in the sense of,
tight.
yeah, if you get a bad kick to the left, we saw OB found
On
in round
their
one.
second shot.
Yeah, so like this looks like he got through most of the junk, but if you're behind those big trees, it gets very, very tricky for back there.
Yeah, and that happened to Dutch round 4 as well, kind of playing a little early left. Snuck in a little further than he did today. So he's just pitching up for the par. It looks like it should be relatively stress-free birdies for the rest of the card.
Joe finally getting the 40. Feels like he would have got there much sooner, but with the round he's been having, he's going to be tied up with Dutch here.
Was that a you go? No, you go.
I can't believe it.
You're up next.
Stay turning. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Ooh. Wow.
Alan, inbounds.
That's exactly.
Unbelievable.
All right, we're getting into home stretch here. The 2025 Master Worlds MP40 division. Hole 16, 340. Big hyzer shot from these guys. If the wind's really ripping, it comes into play, but it looks like the wind is kind of settled at this point. Not a lot to be found.
So Brad went forehand in round 4. Kind of burned it into the ground. This time not that much better. Losing a lot of distance compared to the rest of the card. Because I'd say that this is probably the most stock shot you'll see all day.
Yeah, shout out Jeremy Colling for hitting dead center basket for the ace. Dropped out. Did not get it. It's looking good from Dutch, though. Just needs to drop. Ooh, that almost went in.
Yeah. And you had mentioned earlier in a previous round that the ground play here is almost non-existent with it being so spongy, but now that it rained earlier today, it's that much less.
Go in.
Whoa.
Whew. So close, man. Still a little bit of work here for Brad. It doesn't look like he's going to grab his birdie. So no turkey dinner for him.
Oh. Little rush job there from Cale.
Yeah, with these guys most likely grabbing birdies here, I think it's safe to say Cale's run has come to an end with 2 holes left.
Yeah, it ran out of holes.
Joe's heating up, though. You got to finish strong here. Oh, Boy, a 25-footer probably never looks so.
It was almost like he
So
didn't want
scary.
it. Like it was a little low.
But these helix baskets doing their job. Find a way to put it in there.
All right, hole 7, our last par 4, coming in at just shy of 400 feet. Very sharp dog leg to the left after you have that Mando on the left. Beautiful green built up. So it makes the approach a little more technical. Requires a lot of touch.
Yeah, I'm surprised this doesn't come in as the easiest hole. It's the second easiest with hole 12, but I mean, it's a pretty simple hyzer here for these guys. And I mean, the second shot, beautiful green. I think just that green probably comes into play a little more.
I also think that coming off the tee, if you push too far straight and you end up in the woods,
Yeah.
that makes it a very difficult scramble. Which it was Dutch yesterday that had that scramble shot that landed top of the green.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I don't think you see that very often, and that's kind of why he's up here at the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, he's been playing good golf all week. We haven't really seen any shots from here. No one's really hit early. I think we might have seen Danny over here, but that's about it.
Oh yeah, Danny had kind of was able to play that big shot
Yeah.
to make up that distance there on that left side.
Joe just inside the circle, but he's not up. Same with Cale. No.
See,
That's 2 now that are not on the chips, and you definitely want to be on the chips here. Ooh, that was so close to that tree, dude.
yeah,
That is-
little sharp.
That's circle 2 land. Yeah, easy par there for Brad.
Yes.
That is such a big putt there from Dutch.
2 in a row going into his final hole.
All right, so this is probably a good time to start talking about the rest of the field. Just give overall perspective of what's going on here. So Dutch is tied for first at 42 under, and Joe needed to make that. That was a very important putt. And he's probably going to have to ace 18 now, and it's not because of Dutch. It's because there's a whole nother guy who's been playing amazing golf on this back nine. Paul Oman from the Chase card. Didn't mention his ace on 10, but we're about to go see that as we're going to see a Chase card check-in of Paul's entire round as he came in as the leader in the clubhouse.
Solid drive on the first.
I mean, he was just throwing well all day. He took a couple bogeys, I think 1 or 2.
Oh, that flattens out so nicely.
Good vibes with the card. I mean, you had Feldberg, you had Rico, Coling.
Yeah, he got far enough down there. His approach was just a little jumper.
Here he is on the 5th for birdie. Edge of circle. Finds
Slightly
it.
on the left side, but in is in.
This is Paul on the 8th.
Whoa. Close shave
Just
there.
missing that tree.
Wow,
And
much
look-
shorter than I thought.
And look at this putt, dude.
Wow. That was great. Dead center, right in the heart of it.
And that's going to give him the momentum for this one. So I didn't forget about it. I just didn't want to mention it.
Surprise.
Surprise, there was an ace.
and the commotion was real. You may have heard a little bit of it earlier in the coverage in our background. That's so sick. And I had overheard him talking about how someone had suggested maybe changing up exactly how he's throwing it with angle and speed, and he lands it. The second attempt.
In the rain, too. You can see the rain coming down.
It's very impressive. And what a hole to ace with the clubhouse, or one of the clubhouses, the snack shack, being there full of people. So the hype is real.
This is him grabbing a birdie on the 12th. And then look at his disc on this one. I put this in here.
Wow.
On the 13th, he was less than an inch or two from being out of bounds. And he found OB in round 4, almost in the same spot. It's him making a birdie on 14.
He's vibing.
And I mean, it's one of those rounds where you just start feeling it, and literally every birdie starts coming to you. He had one par on the 11th, but other than the ace on the 10th, all of these holes were racked up as birdies.
That looked like a park job.
Parks it. Here's the 16th. It's a good shot inside the circle. So while the lead card's sitting there fighting, Paul Oman was just doing his own thing here on chase card, going 9 down through the final 9 holes with the ace.
So nonchalant.
Knew it the whole way. He's going to skip right up.
I love that play too. Honestly, playing a little shorter, letting it forward skip.
And his card's hyped because they know how important this is. And that puts him at 43 under for the tournament.
So with that, this next final hole for our lead card is very important.
Yeah, and that's why with Joe missing that putt, he doesn't need a birdie. He now needs to ace just to even make it to the playoff. So this is a lot of pressure here on Dutch.
Yeah, and him being the first one up.
Needs to get the birdie. Oh, he almost hit the drop zone.
Well, I'd say that he is probably breathing a little easier after that one.
So Dutch probably going to have legs of jello walking up there. He's got to make a 15, 20-footer. Cale just sneaking in.
That looks pretty cooked.
Yeah. He's been finding OB on the 18th. It's been a tough hole for him. Does finally get it, but it's not going to matter. So he's looking at a podium finish. And then Brad with the layup. That's the second time he laid up. Literally, I don't think he can get any closer. Good tournament there from Brad. He's going to finish in 5th. And Derek, the king, has finally been dethroned. 3 in a row for Joe. He will not get his 4th.
And we have some buzzer beater action coming up here. Who gets the new crown?
Shout out Cale. Good tournament. Just another one, just a little too short. Just a couple bad breaks here or there, a couple missed throws and putts.
Yeah, and I love seeing him in the mix. Like each year, it seems like he's right there in the wire. And I do truly believe that he's going to get his sooner
For sure.
or later.
So Dutch is going to end with the turkey, get him the 9 down. He gets to that 43 mark. And we now have a playoff there with chase card.
Yes. And playoff holes are 1-18 repeating in a sudden death format.
So good out of the hand.
Yeah, it's.
I thought it was going to go. I thought it was going to go in halfway through the flight. I was like, oh, go in.
Absolutely bases it too.
Because imagine walk-off ace.
That's a lot of pressure here for Paul. Seeing just like Dutch has to wear a helmet to tap that in.
Luckily, Paul's been playing hole 1 great all week. And he just misses that tree. Not as close, but
He gets a cigar too.
yeah, I don't think he's gonna miss that one. And we're gonna move to hole 18. In hole 1, kind of expect that might not be where the difference happens. Hole 18, completely different beast, and now they alternate. So now Paul's gonna go first. Great crowd there. And makes it on the backside.
Ooh, good stop.
Needs to take a deep breath. Mind you, these guys are both fairly local. I mean, Indiana and Kentucky, so they've been playing against each other for a very long time. So it was probably a really good moment for them to be out here competing.
Yeah, we had mentioned it earlier, and unfortunately that finds the OB, so he's going to have to do drop zone.
And that's going to be it. Love to see it.
It's a really nice moment between the two of them. But we had mentioned earlier that, first time that we filmed Dutch, it was with Paul as well.
Yeah, 2020 Gibson County Classic. Check out that coverage if you want. Look at some old Gatekeeper. And that's all you got to do
Smart
there.
play to lay up.
You don't want to hit the basket and it roll away. And we now have a new champion crowned. Paul Oman. Masters World Champion in the MP40 division. From Chase Card. It's funny, we've been Chase Card for so long in our lives, and then
I know we're lead carded. There's a Chase Card win.
all the homies are going to come out, give him a big hug. I think everyone so happy for him. It's well deserved. He's been playing such a long time. He's finally going to get his flowers. Man, people hitting the aces at Worlds, going back to James. It's crazy, man. If you didn't get that ace.
Yeah, we wouldn't be here right now on this winner's circle with tall Paul Oman.
Shasta giving him some love.
This was a really funny moment. I overheard Dave say, "I knew you were going to join the club one day."
He made it.
Philo running over as well. Everybody showing up to show love for their boy.
I mean, who doesn't love Paul,
Oh, this
man?
is great too.
Cale's got to be happy for his homie.
Absolutely.
Man, I can feel it. I love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, there are a couple extra holes. On behalf of the Pdga, Blue Ribbon Pines Disc Golf Club, all of the sponsors, staff, volunteers, and fans, we have a champion at the 2025.
Also the media. Don't forget the media. Sometimes we're forgotten.
Paul Oman.
We were there too, y'all. I thought that was a green block of cheese for a second.
I thought it was one of those like lap steel drums, like a thumb drum.
That
or
would be
whatever.
neat. Wow, what an event. I mean, Kaposia, Blue Ribbon Pines, Minnesota Golf. I really hope that we see another major come through here soon.
I agree. Really great properties here. And the locals really show the love. I think that's very important for events.
Yeah, shout out to all the locals here, volunteers, spectators, competitors, media.
Course designers.
Yeah. Is that Tim? All right. Jeez, man, that is it. We don't even have the leader here on our scorecards.
Brad did go bogey free on the back 9.
Big shout out to him. Good tournament. He's taken down a couple majors in his time. Paul Oman, 12 under. Only one to reach double digits. And he showed up final day. Shout out Gateway Disc Sports for sponsoring this coverage all week long.
And shout out to all of you for watching and being along for the ride. We really love filming the Masters players and kind of showing something that's a little bit greater than your average MPO. And we just really appreciate each and every one of you tuning in. If you would like to help support this type of coverage, please head over to patreon.com/gatekeepermedia. We will see you at the next event.
Gruesome twosome out.